Hello and welcome to live commentary from Serie A tonight, and it is Napoli versus Cremonese, and what a game it looks like being. In fairness, Antonio Conte's side have had a little bit of a hiccup recently, and it looks like their title may well be slipping away from them. They could, excuse me, I apologise. That was early, wasn't it? They could surrender or give up their Serie A title. Could Napoli? They do host relegation-threatened Cremonese today at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, but they are trying just to, I suppose, just delay the inevitable, which is Inter Milan's expected title winning for one more weekend. Antonio Conte's side had been on a pretty good run up until the last two games. They won 5 consecutive league games, only to drop the ball very, very early, and then leave them 12 points off with just 12 points to go. Their 2-0 loss to a Lazio side last time out wasn't the best thing in the world, but let's be honest with it, the side from Napoli are unbeaten in the league at the Maradona all season, and possibly, as I say, their last game here against Lazio was their worst. They didn't even register a shot on target, and Conte's team were pretty much booed off the field of play at the end of it. So that's interesting. Former boss Leonardo Spinazzola admitted the team lacked the mental strength to go on and defeat Lazio. So let's see how they get on against the side that is really basically struggling at the wrong end of the table. The visitors today, Cremonese, have not beaten Napoli in Serie A for 32 years, since a 2-0 win over Napoli in Lombardy in 1994. So there we go. That's a pretty impressive stat that they've got to try and go over. Cremonese are level on 28 points with 18 points. Lecce, who visit second bottom side Hellas Verona, highlighting the need for them to try and get something out of today's game, two of which is going to be a little bit on the tough side for them. Napoli come here having lost and drawn in their last two, but won their previous 5, where Cremonese have, in their last 5, they have lost 4 of their last 5. And they are going to struggle somewhat here today, you fancy. Well, the two sides have made their way out onto the field of play, and the officials tonight are as follows. It is Daniel Doveri, who is the referee, assisted by Matteo Passeri and Domenico Fontimurato, and the fourth official and board man is Alberto Arena. They are your officials this evening. Two managers have a little brief exchange on the touchline. That's Marco Giampaolo for Cremonese, and of course Antonio Conte, who really needs no second introduction as he comes out with his side, possibly making his collar feel a little bit on the warm side. Let's have a little look. In goal today for Napoli, Milinkovic-Savic. It's a back 3 of Oliveira, Buongiorno and Ramani. Then I have a midfield quartet of Gutierrez, Lobotka, McTominay and Politano, with Kevin De Bruyne and of course Alisson Santos either side of Erasmus Højlund at the top of the park. Interesting news though for the side, because we believe, we're not too sure with the two centre halves whether Buongiorno is going to play through the centre and Ramani down the right. But either way, we wait to see. Antonio Conte, just 56 years of age, and looking at his earlier days when he played for Italy, he didn't have quite so much hair as he does so now. But then again, who am I to argue about that? I don't have any hair compared to what I used to have. Anyway, the two sides going through it. Politano is the captain, and Bashirotto for the side from Cremonese. Marco Giampaolo is pretty much had his hands tied, although there is a surprise inclusion. Warren Bondo in the middle of the park has not played for 54 games. Anyway, in goal, Emil Ordero. It is a back four of Philip Teresiano, Federico Bashirotto, the captain, Sebastian Luperto, and it is also Giuseppe Pizzella who is playing at left back. Midfield quartet of Romano Mussolini, Warren Bondo, first game for 54 games, and Yusuf Bala and Martin Baero. Up front, they're going with a 2 in Federico Bonazzoli, top goal scorer, although he hasn't scored in open play since early March, and David Okereke. In the first half, it is going to be Cremonese that defend the goal away to my left-hand side. And it is the sky blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks of Napoli that defend the goal away to my right. And it is Napoli who are going to have to receive as Daniel De Veri gets ready. It's all black kit for the side from Cremonese. Laid out near side, straight out of play on this near side as well. Good work being held up by Gutierrez, just making sure that his young man on this near side didn't get anywhere near the football. Throw midway inside the Napoli half, which is to the right of the halfway line as I peer down. Best stadiums in Italy, ranked around about 5th or 6th, I believe. Lobotka back to Gutierrez. Gutierrez back this time to Oliveira. Played forward. De Bruyne with the layoff. Across the edge of the Napoli penalty area. De Bruyne gets it back. Tries to exchange passes on the far side with Oliveira. And in the end, it is going to be Napoli that make their way up towards the halfway line. Near side, Ramani gets the ball back, and Buongiorno is the man that is going to play on this near side. Just changing it around. Vanya Milinkovic-Savic is the man that is going to roll the ball out to his back 3. Far side of the pitch, Politano down the line, turn round the corner, run on here, Højlund with the layoff, real chance here for the first goal of the game. Through he comes, that's a superb save by Emil Ordero. Real break in the middle of the park there, lovely play there by Napoli, and Ordero makes a second stop over by his left post, but Højlund with the beautiful flick, the move just built up. It was played down the line on the far side, hook round the corner, laid off by Højlund, and then the break into the box. Really good striding by Scott McTominay, but he couldn't finish it. Great save by Ordero, who came out and blocked it. Scott McTominay, youngster from Manchester United. Most of the Napoli fans are wondering how he's not actually still at Manchester United. Near side, thumped long this time by Bashirotto. He's going to clear everybody, bounce harmlessly through towards the keeper Milinkovic-Savic, but it's going to be Ramani in the middle of a back 3 for Napoli. Slips the ball forward to McTominay. McTominay out on the far side, and over the halfway line goes De Bruyne. De Bruyne midway inside the Cremonese half. Now the break on by McTominay. It's 1-0 by McTominay. He thumps it in from 20 yards. He's had a cracking chance just a moment ago, but this time McTominay inside 3 minutes gets the first goal of the game. He should have had one in 2 minutes, but in 3 minutes he finishes from 20 yards. It's a lovely ball. Played forward by De Bruyne over the halfway line. McTominay with a run through the centre. Trailing in his wake is Bondo, and he fires it in from the edge of the box. Low pass to Ordero into the bottom right-hand corner of the net away to my left-hand side. And 3 minutes on the clock, and McTominay has opened the scoring for a side that didn't register a shot on target in their last home game against Lazio. Really rifled it in through the legs, actually, of the covering defender Federico Bashirotto. But really, Scott McTominay was given the space and freedom to get onto the ball. He's 20 yards out. I thought he was on the edge of the box, but he took it. One touch left foot, fires it in right foot across the face of Ordero into his bottom right-hand corner. And, Marco Giampaolo will not be happy with that start here. They could have been 1 down after 2. They are 1 down after 3. McTominay saw a save by Ordero and then has fired it past Ordero from 20 yards a minute later. Ball is back in the half of Napoli. Ramani out to Oliveira, back to Ramani, 12 yards outside his own penalty area. Forward this time on this near side to Gutierrez. Gutierrez down the line, finds Alisson. Played out of play on this near side, right between the two technical areas, down beneath the vantage point of the pitch as I face it. Don't forget, Napoli defend the goal away to my right and attack the goal away to my left, and they're doing that pretty well. Loose ball this time played into the middle of the half, and it's picked up this time by captain Bashirotto, who puts a long ball forward looking for Martin Pajero, but doesn't quite find him. Napoli pick up the pieces again. Now the break's on again. McTominay's into the box. Can he take the ball with him? He does. This time he flashes it high over the bar. I think Højlund wanted it inside. His former Manchester United teammate just couldn't take the ball with him. Just sat behind him as the ball went through. But again, it's lax play by Cremonese. McTominay tried to drag it from behind him. Finally was accosted by Sebastiano Liberto, but ball was fired high up and over the crossbar. Goal kick. Emil Ordero's seen a lot of the ball already in goal for Cremonese. Turned forward and round the corner this time by Bonazzoli, but all the way back to his own keeper for Napoli. And Milinkovic-Savic receives the ball back there by Buongiorno. Plays it back to Buongiorno. Plays it out to Alisson dos Santos. Inside to McTominay. Back this time to Alessandro Buongiorno. Back it goes to Amir Rahmani. Rahmani out to Mateus Oliveira. Inside, little turn for Lobotka. Round the corner again. Napoli retain possession. McTominay 12 yards outside his own penalty area. Finds Lobotka. Down that far touchline to Politano. Back to Lobotka. Napoli a goal up and now really can dictate exactly how this game goes against the side that are threatened with relegation, Cremonese. Lobotka. Infield to Oliveira. Oliveira will go square to Rahmani. Amir Rahmani down his near side to Alessandro Buongiorno. Can't get the ball forward, although Alisson dos Santos does get involved, and in the end it's played out of play on this near side. Antonio Conte will be happy with his side start here. 7 minutes on the clock. And Scott McTominay with yet another goal. 3 goals in his last 6 appearances, now make that 4. Pretty impressive for the man from the 29-year-old man from England, although he plays for Scotland. Transferred him for 26.2 million back in August 24. He's enjoying his life in Italy, that's for sure. Ball is back in play. Napoli just outside their own penalty area. Where to my right, plays it back to Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Played out far side. Chance here for Matteo Politano. Turns it infield. McTominay's ball forward is blocked by the legs this time of Warren Bondo, but hacked forward by Napoli. Chance again. De Bruyne, 6 yards inside his own half. Twisting and turning on this near side away from Yusuf Maleh. Gets the ball out on this near side. Now there's a break on this time down this near side. Chance for Alisson to go into the box. Tries to play it back, edge of the box. McTominay flashes a right foot shot this time. High and across the top of the bar. We're inside 8 minutes and McTominay could have had a hat-trick quite easily. One saved by the keeper, Ordero. One he's fired into the back of the net. Another one which he just slightly behind him. He put it up and over the crossbar and he's flashed another one wide. Look, 4 chances. First corner of the game on this near side for Napoli. Goal away to my left. Ordero will look out to his right-hand side. De Bruyne about to take this corner. Swings it in with his right foot underneath the crossbar. Flashing header goes in, and who is it again? Don't tell me it's Scott McTominay. No, this time it is Amir Rahmani. Distance for my eyes. Got up well at the front post, but always in front of the front post, which meant he was always going to crane his neck backwards to try and get it in to the back of the net. Well, Napoli have opened up pretty well here. They lead by a goal to 0. Scored on 3 minutes by Scott McTominay. And Cremonese at the moment are not playing too well. McTominay on the ball. Steps away from one in the middle of the park. Plays it out far side. Chance here for Pizzella to try and stop Napoli coming forward. But Politano plays it square across the midway point of the Cremonese half. Alisson comes inside. Rolls it back this time into the feet of Lobotka. Lobotka across on the far side to Oliveira. Oliveira down that far touchline. Chance here for Matteo Politano to pull it back. Pulls it back into the feet again. Swept round the corner. McTominay's inside the box, but a shot's going to come in this time and get played wide of the goal. De Bruyne keeps it in. Cremonese are struggling to get the ball away. And a flag has got up for offside ultimately, but Højlund couldn't get the finishing touch in there. It was really everybody at 6s and 7s there. Lovely flick. De Bruyne got it back to Højlund. Then De Bruyne was played onside as the ball went towards the dead ball line for a goal kick. But I think it was the very first instance that De Bruyne was offside when he pulled it back to Højlund at the start of that promising attack. But Napoli looked fired up, it has to be said. Ball is played out to the edge of the box where the offside is about to be taken. Goalkeeper Emil Ordero, the Italian keeper, 29 years of age, bedecked full yellow top to bottom apart from boots and gloves. Accessorise, Emil, accessorise. Thump long, headed away on the far side by Matheus Oliveira. Cremonese with a chance to get their foot on the ball. Luperto all the way back to Ordero, in goal for Cremonese, away to my left-hand side. The thump long by Ordero, but that will go all the way through to Milinkovic-Savic, the keeper of Napoli, who plays a short pass. Nicely played across the back line, and in the end, Guterres puts the ball over the top for Alisson to drive into the box. Can he take the ball with him? No, he just shows too much, and in the end, it's played back under a bit of pressure there by Terraziano to Ordero, and Ordero sweeps the ball away from his own goal. Napoli have just lost the once when scoring first in Serie A this year. Ball is back in play on this near side. Napoli again coming forward. McTominay, Lobotka tries to play it forward. Cleared this time by Terraziano. Lobotka this time with a lazy challenge in the middle of the park on Martin Payero. And the ball goes away on the far side of the pitch. Free kick though has been given. Ball is back in play. Cremonese, Luperto out to Pazzella. Pazzella in, around the corner by Male. Couldn't be taken on the far side by Okereke. Okereke tries to make a little bit of a run. Bondo loses out, so does Payero, and it's a chance for De Bruyne to sweep the ball in towards the penalty area. The penalty spot there for Højlund, but Højlund doesn't get there. Cleared by Cremonese. It's a little bit awkward here. Giuseppe Pazzella back to Sebastiano Luperto. Luperto, the centre-half, all the way back to his keeper, Emil Ordero. Swept out on this near side to Filippo Terraziano. Back inside to Emil Ordero again. Inside his own penalty area, just waits a little long now. He's clipped it forward. Coming back into his own half there is David Okereke, but again, it's not promising play. Doesn't hold the ball up, and Napoli will have a throw on the far side of the pitch. They lead by a goal and have scored after 3 minutes by a wonderful strike from Scott McTominay from 20 yards. McTominay round the corner to De Bruyne. De Bruyne trying to get away from the close attentions on the far side of Yusuf Male. Plays it back. Infield it goes. Lobotka, De Bruyne back into his own half. Napoli defend the goal away to my right and all the way back to his own keeper by Matheus Oliveira, who sweeps it first time out to Alessandro Buongiorno into the feet of Gutierrez. Gutierrez is fouled in trying to get forward, and he was also stopped from taking a free kick too quickly, but the referee takes a better view than most would. McTominay this time is fouled up in the middle of the park by Federico Bonazzoli, midway inside the half of Napoli. As I say, they need to keep the pressure on. They've just got to win every game going and see what happens to Inter Milan, who really are almost away and into the distance after those points have been dropped recently. 5 points dropped in their last two matches, which would have made all the difference. A little flick round the corner. Højlund halfway line being held up by Luperto. Coming forward. De Bruyne tries to smite the ball forward. Referee De Veri says that there is a foul on Højlund. Near side of the pitch, Alisson Santos midway inside the Cremonese half, which lies to the right and left of the halfway line into Lobotka. Lobotka back to Ramani. Ramani into the feet of McTominay. Forward to Alisson Santos. Back to McTominay. 3 yards inside the half of Napoli. Clipped up to Højlund. Højlund's falling over. Alisson Santos picks up the pieces. Drives now towards the Cremonese penalty area away to my left-hand side. That's a poor ball there by Alisson Santos, easily taken off his toes on this near side by Romano Mussolini. Played back into the captain. The captain, Bashirotto, plays it all the way back to his keeper Ordero, and Ordero inside the 6-yard box away to my left-hand side. Thumps a long ball up towards Okereke. He gets nowhere near it, and Ramani plays the ball out to Oliveira. Back it goes to Romani. Romani midway inside the Napoli half. Tracks back towards his own penalty area. Where am I right? Short pass on this near side to Oliveira into the feet of McTominay. Back out to Lobotka. Lobotka tries to play it forward. Halfway line cut out by Sebastiano Luperto. Luperto coming forward. Sets the ball back. Martin Baero infield this time to Warren Bondo. Bondo has been missing for 54 games. It was an unspecified injury as well. Nobody really knew what was going on, but back in the side, although he was a little bit tapped for toe when chasing McTominay for the opening goal of the game on 3 minutes. Luperto, halfway line. Infield. This time turned round the corner by Mala. Far side of the pitch, knocked on, hooked round the corner. Mala will try and pick up the pieces up in midfield. Puts a volley through towards the penalty area of Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, who comes forward, the Serbian keeper, and grabs it. Rolls it out very quickly to Alessandro Bongiorno. Back it goes to Milinkovic-Savic inside the penalty area for Napoli. Away to my right-hand side as I face the pitch. 15 on the clock. Napoli 1, Cremonese 0. Scott McTominay on 3 minutes. Now driving forward. Luperto plays the ball down the Napoli right-hand side. They're down by the penalty area on the far side. In it goes. Good ball in. Couldn't be converted, though, by the on-rushing Federico Bonazzoli. And Alisson Santos down the side of his own penalty area for Napoli, away to my right-hand side. Plays the ball back, and it's not long by Miguel Gutierrez. Ball a little bit scrappy at the moment, but Cremonese have suddenly got their foot on it. Middle of the park. Chance here for Terreziano. Bondo round the corner by Terreziano. Little layoff by Okereke. Nobody told his teammate, though, Bonazzoli, that there was a man on him, and Napoli have won the ball back just outside the Napoli penalty area, away to my right-hand side. Far side of the pitch now, and Politano plays the ball back to Oliveira. Oliveira up to De Bruyne. First-time layoff isn't very good here, and Bondo will slip the ball through to Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli all the way back this time to Bachirotto. Bachirotto out to this near side. Will pick up the young man Mussolini. Mussolini inside again to Bonazzoli. Back to Bondo. Bondo back inside the centre circle on the Napoli side of the pitch, which is to the right, to feed the ball up to Okereke. You couldn't control it. And all of a sudden, Napoli have got the ball back without really having to try that. Scott McTominay exchanges passes with Oliveira. Midway inside the Napoli half, which is to the right of the halfway line as I face it. Oliveira. De Bruyne toes it round the corner. A lovely little flick around the corner as well. And now driving away on this near side is Bongiorno. Bongiorno over the halfway line, midway inside the Cremonese half. Looks for a left to right ball, but that's a little too easy on the far side for Giuseppe Pozzella. Just to put the ball all the way back to Emil Ordero. And really nicely done, Emil Ordero. Just adjacent to his penalty spot inside the penalty area. Away to my left-hand side. Cremonese really need to try and pick something up out of today's game. They come up against the Napoli side, as I say, dropping 5 points in their last 2 matches, which has virtually handed the title to Inter Milan. Far side of the pitch, knocked long. And in the end, Cremonese can't keep the pressure on, although there was a bit of pressure exerted there on Alessandro Bongiorno. Couldn't quite get the ball away from him. And the man that was coming forward to put that pressure on was Romano Florian Mussolini. Getting to see the goal on our replay monitors. It's a beautiful strike. The ball was played into him from his right-hand side. One touch 20 yards out with his left foot. Second touch with his right foot. Bottom corner of Ordero's goal. When Scott McTominay scores, they've never lost. Anyway, it's a corner. First corner of the game here coming to Cremonese. Goal away to my right-hand side. And this time it is going to be Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, so it looks out to his left. 18th minute of the game. Punched up in the air by Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Bondo misses his header. Napoli try and get the ball away. Bondo heads it back to the edge of the Napoli penalty area. Where am I right? Bondo again wins a header. A little bit of head tennis now. This must be the fifth header going along here. Good work this time by Mussolini. Gets it out on this near side of Bonazzoli. Back inside to Mussolini. Mussolini's got 2 for company. Faces this near touchline. Falls over under a bit of pressure. Manages to get the ball back this time to Federico Bonazzoli. But ball goes out of play. And it's going to be a throw because it came off a Napoli player. And it's thrown back to the halfway line by Terreziano. Terreziano gets the ball all the way back to his captain Bashirotto. Bashirotto out on this near side to Terraziano. Bondo round the corner. Can't be turned forward again this time by the young man Piero, who swapped sides just for the moment. He was playing down the left, but now is turned up on the right-hand side for Cremonese. Cremonese defend the goal away to my left, and Napoli defend the goal away to my right. Ball is back with the Napoli keeper away to my right. Milinkovic-Savic throws a long ball out on the far side, looking for the run of Matteo Politano. Cremonese clear it to the halfway line. Okereke, 12 yards inside his own half, flicks the ball back to Sebastiano Luperto. Luperto goes all the way back to Ordero, and Ordero's just to the left of his penalty spot in the penalty area away to my left. Short ball forward into the middle of the park, played back to him, and Ordero just scoops it over the head of Højlund and plays it out to captain Federico Bashirotto. Back it goes to Ordero. Bashirotto's got to keep this in play. Does he keep it in play? He does, and he manages to fashion a long ball over the top, looking for the run of Mussolini, but it's tied up by Amir Rahmani all the way back to Milinkovic-Savic. Chance again near side. Ball played out. Rahmani gets the ball out to Buongiorno. Gutierrez infield. Lobotka back this time to Rahmani. Out to Oliveira. Back inside to Lobotka. Stanislav Lobotka, 31 years of age. The Slovakian gets it back to Amir Rahmani, and the ball is played long. Run from midfield by Højlund isn't going to be caught. The ball goes all the way through to Emil Ordero, who bowls it out to Luperto. Luperto into the middle of the park. Bondo comes forward. 8 yards shy of the halfway line for Cremonese. Cremonese defend the goal away to my left and attack the goal away to my right. Played forward again. Mussolini on the halfway line has to roll the ball back inside this time to find Filippo Terraziano. Forward it goes. Chance now for Bonazzoli, who gets upended rather unconventionally by the centre half. Amir Rahmani. 32 years of age now. Amir Rahmani, born in Kosovo. Signed from Hellas Veronas, but certainly looks a solid enough citizen in the middle of the park. Cremonese have taken a free kick and they're being forced back into their own half, where Luperto goes all the way back from just inside his own half. Back to his keeper Ordero. Ordero's ball forward is easily headed away. Bondo heads it up in the air. McTominay tries to get the ball down. Good steal this time in the middle of the park by Piero. Piero plays it out far side. Coming in off that far side, Yusuf Maleh. Up to the halfway line, inside to Bondo. Bondo will feel it late on in the games, having missed those 54 games since that injury back in January 25. Chance this time for Cremonese to come forward. Mussolini around the corner, looking for the run of Okereke, but it's easily dealt with there by Rahmani. And in the end, played all the way back to his keeper, Milinkovic-Savic, although Lobotka's ball back out on this near side to Amir Rahmani was beyond useless. He's facing his own goal. He's 22 yards away from Milinkovic-Savic's goal, and he's just spanned the ball out to what would be his right-hand side, but left for his side, and he's put it straight out of play. Coming forward now, Filippo Terraziano with a chance midway through the first half here inside the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. Terraziano into Bondo. Bondo back to Terraziano. Can he keep it in place? Slips while doing so, but gets it back. Headed away by Lobotka, who's really increased the pressure on his own defence with that loose ball, but Napoli get the ball away. Luperto plays it out to Pazzella. Pazzella out on that far side and cutting in off that far side. Okereke. A little give and go with Bondo. Okereke on the edge of the box, couldn't take the ball with him. Referee said there was no drag back there. David Okereke thought he was fouled. Lobotka is put under inaudible pressure, and Napoli have almost given away a corner, but in the end they've managed to clear their lines with Oliveira and Politano getting the ball forward. Far side of the pitch, a little coming together, sees Lobotka go down underneath the challenge of Yusuf Maleh, and it is going to be a throw on the far side of the pitch to Napoli. 24 minutes have almost elapsed here. Napoli just shy of the halfway line, throw it back into their own half, which lies to the right of the halfway line. Oliveira into McTominay. Forward it goes into the feet of De Bruyne. Back to McTominay. Forward to Højlund. Behind Højlund. No, not a good ball there. Tied it up on this near side by Terraziano. A little bit of Bashirotto, back to Ordero, and Ordero rolls the ball out first time to the edge of his box to Luperto. Luperto inside to Bondo. Bondo 12, 18 yards outside his own penalty area for Cremonese, which lies to the left of the halfway line and away to my left-hand side. Bashirotto. Bayero. Near side. Chance here for the ball to be brought down by Terreziano. Terreziano goes inside. Bondo is clattered into by, I think it's McTominay just gone down. I couldn't see, but I don't think anything's going to happen here, although the referee is signalling there's a head injury. Bondo said I did nothing. McTominay's down. Just going to watch this again. Yeah, Bondo put his arm back, but the McTominay bent into the elbow, and it was bending into the elbow as far as I was concerned there by McTominay. He's went to go and get the ball. 60% possession so far for Napoli in this game. Both had a corner each. 6 shots in total already by Napoli, none for Cremonese, 2 on target by Napoli. Dangerous attacks, they're racking them up at the moment. Looking as very much like a home match. De Bruyne, the supplier of the pass that got McTominay's goal in just 3 minutes. Well, McTominay's still down, getting some treatment for that blow to the face. It's a chance for Marco Giampaolo to have a few words with his players. Well, it's difficult for Cremonese. They're in a battle at the foot of the table, and they really do need to find their way out of trouble, and they can't rely on those around them. Their running is not really testament to what is going on. Let's have a little look at the benches today for both sides. We've got 2 keepers on the bench for Napoli, Contini and Meret. They have 4 defenders in Jesus, Mazzocchi, Buchema and Spinazzola. 3 midfielders in Billy Gilmore, Fancanguisa and Elmas, and 1 forward in the shape of Giovan. They are missing 2. Lukaku and Di Lorenzo are out. And of course there's no Neres Ferrant Vergara in the starting lineup today. Back on his feet though now is the young man Scott McTominay. Let's have a look. Silvestri and Nava goalkeeping cover for Cremonese on the bench. Defensively they've got Fai Barbieri, Ceccherini, Bianchetti and Foligno. Midfielders Grassi, Thorsby, Van der Put and Colocco, and they've got 3 forwards on the bench as well, in Zerbin, Juric and Sanabria. They are missing Jamie Vardy and Faris Moumbagna as well, so they are the injuries for them, and the ball is now back in play, edge of the Cremonese box. Real chance here, the ball breaks quite nicely, first time shot, well he's always leaning back in fairness, dropped quite nicely on this near side for Miguel Gutierrez, 24 to 25 yards out, 1 touch with his left foot and then he killed it higher over the top of the crossbar, very much like a left back would curl it down the line, but he's tried to curl it up and over the crossbar away to my left hand side. Ordero thumps the ball long. This time it is Gutierrez who has to try and get the ball down and spin away from Mussolini. Mussolini gets a toe in, throw to Napoli midway inside their own half, which is to the right of the halfway line. Well, the only thing I can say for Napoli is that they're only a goal to the good, so Cremonese have just got to sit back and think to themselves, you know, there's always hope. That's a good play by Gutierrez, gets it to McTominay. Alisson Santos gets in the way. Ball breaks to Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli finds Okereke for Cremonese, 12 yards outside the Napoli penalty area. Stabs it back to the halfway line to Luperto. Luperto out to Pezzella. Pezzella finds Okereke again. Okereke back inside. Chance here for Male. Male back out there. Luperto tries to lift it down the line. Couldn't get it down the line. Blocked by the man in front of him, who was Kevin De Bruyne, who swapped one light blue shirt for another this season after leaving Manchester City. Will he go down as one of the greats? Well, I have to say he will do. Fantastic servant from Manchester City, really talented and talismanic player for Belgium as well as an international. Throw midway inside the Napoli half, thrown long, good run from Payero. Payero down in the corner on the far side of the pitch, being held up on the far side of the pitch as well. Manages to get the ball back. Could it be swung into the penalty area? Although the only body that's up there is Federico Bonazzoli, and it clears his head and goes away for a goal kick wide of Milinkovic-Savic's left post. But Cremonese getting back into it. 30 minutes on the clock here. Napoli 1, Cremonese 0. Goal scored on 3 minutes by Scott McTominay. Napoli trying to play their way out of trouble on this near side, and this time it looked like there was a foul, but referee says to Marco Giampaolo, no, there's not. Alisson Santos drives down this near side, being tracked all the time, this time by Bashirotto. Cuts inside, goes onto his right foot, drills a shot in, blocked by Bashirotto. Cremonese tried to come away. This time there is a foul. This time Alessandro Giano was a little too rugged on Romano Mussolini, just midway inside the Cremonese half. Got to find a little bit of something, haven't they, Cremonese? Ball is played quickly to Luperto. Luperto across to Bashirotto. Bashirotto on this near side plays it into the feet of Tereziano. Back in field it goes, and then all the way back to their keeper, Emil Ordero for Cremonese, who clips the ball forward. McTominay's going to cut this out, 36 yards away from the Cremonese goal. Plays out on the far side. Chance for Politano to put it into the box, and it's cleared by Luperto for the second corner in this first half for Napoli. Why they would like to find yet another bit of goalmouth action to try and extend their lead and maybe quell any fire that's in the bodies of Cremonese. Far side of the pitch, goal away to my left. Ordero looks out to his left-hand side, furthest corner away, swung in underneath the crossbar. Little push on the back there, cleared by Bashirotto. Napoli get it back, brought down nicely. Was there going to be a shot by Alisson Santos? No, he's tried to pick his way through. Luperto scoops the ball away from the edge of his 18-yard box for Cremonese, away to my left-hand side. Coming out on this near side, Miguel Gutierrez finds Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne comes in off the left, plays it inside to McTominay. McTominay fires a shot low. This time it's the keeper, Ordero, down to his right-hand side to save from 20 yards. As McTominay really has got his shooting boots on in the Serie A campaign. Just opened up their right-footed shot, although Emil Ordero always had it pretty much smothered. And now drops the ball and thumps it from his feet. Mussolini glances the ball on. Gutierrez has to run back, but he's going to be helped out in the middle of the park by Romani. Romani back to Milinkovic-Savic in the penalty area way to my right. Thumps a long ball forward. Good bit of work there by Federico Bashirotto. Plays it out on the far side, and it's a chance now just for a bit of a spin to play the ball back to the halfway line. Bashirotto comes forward midway inside the Cremonese half, which is to the left of the halfway line. Up it goes to Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli down on this near side to Bondo. Bondo held up on the halfway line. Plays the ball back. Well, Filippo Tereziano hasn't got a lot of options in front of him, apart from a Napoli player who shuts him down before he just rolls it back diagonally into his penalty area for Cremonese. The keeper, Ordero, will spread the ball out to Luperto. Luperto out far side to Pizzella. Pizzella in around the corner. Given away. Napoli, though, a little bit more agricultural than possibly their coach Antonio Conte would have liked that. Thumped the ball a million miles away from where they should do. And it's gone away for a goal kick. It's a clever one by any stretch of the imagination. Well, the game's in that sort of situation where Napoli need to get a second. Goal kick is taken. Bonazzoli can't control it. Napoli pick off the pieces. Good bit of work in the middle of the park this time by Yusuf Malek. Just gets the ball back to Luperto. Otherwise there was a chance of Napoli breaking onto the edge of the Cremonese box and putting the ball in the goal. Napoli have got the ball back though. They're a good 15 yards inside their own half. And Romani changes passes this time with Boylan. Back out to Oliveira. Oliveira swings it all the way back to his own keeper, Milinkovic-Savic. Spread out near side. Buongiorno down the line to Alisson Santos. Good defensive work this time, sliding in on the near side by Philippe Tereziano. Going to be a throw just down between the two technical areas, down beneath the camera vantage point here, and Gutierrez throws it back into the feet this time of Buongiorno. Buongiorno will go back to Rahmani on the edge of the 18-yard box of Napoli. Away to my right, plays it out to Oliveira. Oliveira round the corner to Politano. Politano sweeps it forward, and Højlund now gets the ball. Turns to run in field, midway inside the Cremonese half. Short pass to Lobotka. Lobotka up, finds the feet of Gutierrez. Out to Alisson Santos this time, taken on his man. Cuts inside, rolls it back. Not a good ball. Behind the body this time of Politano. Good bit of work again by Politano. Gets the ball back, needs a little bit of support. Does manage to pick a pass out to De Bruyne now, who's 12 yards outside the Cremonese penalty area. Lobotka forward to Højlund. Back it comes. Edge of the box. Shot goes in from 20 yards, but literally fired high up and over the bar this time by Miguel Gutierrez. They're working it well, but they're just not really testing the keeper, Emil Ordero. It's always flying high above the crossbar away to my left-hand side by Miguel Gutierrez. Well, it is Luperto. Plays it square into his own 6-yard box from the goal kick to Ordero. Ordero out on this near side to Bashirotto. Bashirotto up and hooked round the corner by Mussolini, but nobody. Rahmani for Napoli, halfway line. Give and go with Lobotka. Back to Lobotka. Now across to Matthias Oliveira. Oliveira inside the centre circle on the Napoli side of the pitch, which is to the right halfway line. Oliveira across to Amir Rahmani, who goes all the way back to Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. And Napoli making heavy weather and clearing their ball now. They're taking it right back into their 18-yard box away to my right. Played down this near side to Buongiorno. Buongiorno to Gutierrez. Forward to Alisson Santos, who loses out. Back in the feet of Terreziano. Terreziano to Payero. Payero down the line to Mussolini. Inside it goes to Bondo. Little toe comes in by McTominay, but it's won back this time by Cremonese. And down in a heap on the floor, holding his head, Martin Payero goes down. Said he's got an elbow to the back of the head, Scott McTominay. Really not too impressed with that. Just going to get to see a replay here. Didn't see too much in that, but Payero certainly felt a knock to the back of his head. 27-year-old Argentine midfielder, signed from Udinese for £160,000. Played in the last 5 games. Although was substituted off in 4 of those games. 16 appearances all told. Well, he is right-footed, but he's trying to make a move in the middle of the park. He's still down on his haunches in the middle of the half. It'll be a free kick. Vanja Milinkovic-Savic will look out to the touchline away to his left-hand side. He stands in goal away to my right-hand side as I face the pitch. Payado stands back. This is going to be swung in, I believe, by Male. Male puts a high one in there, and Milinkovic-Savic just takes 3 paces to his right and then catches safely with nobody above his head. It's rather easy. Cremonese wasting a good chance to get a bit of pressure on the back of Napoli here. We're into the 38th minute of the first half. Still Napoli lead by a goal to 0. McTominay steps away from another in the middle of the park. Break is on for Napoli. Got options to his right. Up to the edge of the box he goes. Right foot shot again. This time he puts it just wide of Ordero's right-hand post. He is having an absolute field day in the middle of the park, Scott McTominay. He is just waltzing through, driving forward. He had options left. He had options right. He fired a shot in this time that's gone wide of Ordero's right post, I would say by about a yard. Højlund would possibly say you could have given me a chance there, but Cremonese will just be happy that they are currently only a goal down. They haven't been completely put out of sight here by Napoli, but at the moment, if you were a betting man, you're thinking how many are Napoli going to get, as opposed to are Cremonese going to score. Alisson Santos gets the toe in on this near side, but it's come off the legs of, according to our referee Daniel Doveri, of Terreziano. Throw level the 18-yard box of Cremonese away to my left. Gutierrez throws it back to the halfway line, picked up by Buongiorno. Infield it goes, and into his own half this time, to be picked up by Rahmani. Rahmani to Oliveira. Oliveira out to Politano, back to Oliveira. Back it goes to Milinkovic-Savic, and across on his near side to Alessandro Buongiorno, who tries to play it down the line this time. It's the boot on this near side of Martin Pagliaro that puts the ball at a play. Of the two coaches, it is Marco Giampaolo that is somewhat more animated. Scott McTominay, currently 6 shots he's had, 3 on target and 1 goal. Told you he's enjoying himself out there today. Gutierrez with the throw level. There's an 18-yard box right to my right. In it goes to Lobotka, back to Gutierrez. Gutierrez back to Buongiorno. Forward to Lobotka, back to Buongiorno. Buongiorno tries to roll the ball up to the halfway line. Cut out this time by Bashirotto. Plays it forward for Cremonese. Bondo gets the ball down, fouled by McTominay. Taken quickly. Chance here for Bashirotto. Goes up just outside the penalty area of Napoli. Steps in. A couple of little lollipops, but the ball breaks kindly inside the box for not Bonazzoli, but Napoli. Napoli clear it to De Bruyne. De Bruyne out to Alisson Santos. Alisson Santos now taking on Terreziano. Up to the edge of the box, down the side of the penalty area, across the face of goal. Good clearance this time. Away for a corner by Sebastiano Luperto. And it's going to be a corner to Napoli. Well, a good break of game. Very much counter-attacking football at times. Goal away to my left-hand side. Emil Ordero will look out to his right down by the point of my left shoulder. Coming across to take this is Alisson Santos, a 23-year-old Brazilian. Kevin De Bruyne is going to go short here, but I don't know whether he's going to play it short. He does elect to go short to De Bruyne. De Bruyne sweeps the ball to the edge of the box. It's not a great ball, but it's not cut out either by Okereke. McTominay far side of the pitch turns. Napoli retain possession. Infield it goes again. A chance of playing the ball forward by Gutierrez. Napoli trying to work their way down their right touchline. Midway inside the half of Cremonese. Crossfield ball this time. Should be easy cut out this time on this near side by Mussolini. Mussolini heads the ball back to Terreziano. Terreziano across the edge of his own 18-yard box to Luperto. Luperto, the left-sided centre-half, gallops up to the halfway line. Cremonese defend the goal away to my left, attack the goal away to my right. Down that far touchline they go. Into the feet this time of Male. Male back to the halfway line where Cremonese come forward with captain Bashirotto. Bashirotto has to do a full 360. Plays it into the middle of his own half, and all of a sudden it's getting a little tight for space there. Male out on the far side to Luperto. Down the line on the far side to Pagliaro. Back to Luperto. Luperto midway inside the Cremonese half, which is to the left of the halfway line. Plays it back to his keeper, Ordero, who stops the ball inside the D of his 18-yard box away to my left-hand side. 42 on the clock. This time Mussolini thought he was fouled. In fairness, his boot is taken off the back of his ankle as it goes through, but the referee said it's just a footballing coming together as Gutierrez rolls the ball back to Milinkovic-Savic. Back out to Gutierrez. Gutierrez to Buongiorno. Buongiorno into Lobotka. Lobotka this time is pushed to the floor by a rather heavy-handed Yusuf Male's challenge. Free kick given 6 yards outside the penalty area of Napoli away to my right-hand side. Well, it's very tough if you are a Cremonese fan, I would say, because you sat just above the relegation dotted line. You're in a relegation battle, and like a few clubs, no doubt, I could note around the world in world football, you've never been completely thumped, but you've lost too many games when it's come down to it. Oliveira puts the ball forward. Højlund runs the channel, far side, being tracked by Bashirotto. Turns to face Bashirotto, up to the edge of the box. Coming into the box onto his right foot. Fires a low shot, just wide this time of Ordero's right post as Ordero went across to his left. Rasmus Højlund there. Little take on. Took it from his right to his left and then curled it with the instep of his left past Bashirotto. And past Ordero's right-hand post, low down. Still, though, it remains Scott McTominay's 3rd minute strike from 20 yards that separates the two sides as we approach the end of the 44th minute here at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona here in Napoli. All that matters now is results. Quality doesn't really matter to this point, just getting the points on the board. Long ball forward by Ordero, had it on by Okereke, near side, Gutierrez. twists and turns away from Bayera, plays it square and into his own penalty area where Matthias Oliveira has to come away. Okereke tries to grab him, plays a nice little ball this time to Politano. Politano lifts it up to the halfway line where Højlund's got away this time by Bashirotto. Surely there was a foul. Referee should have pulled that one back. Up to the edge of the box he goes, cuts inside on his right foot, fires a shot in, little deflection, and it's into the back of the net. 2-0. Højlund gets the second of 45 minutes. Big deflection though. His shot was going towards Ordero's bottom right-hand corner from 20 yards. Ordero's diving to his right. Little deflection off one of the centre-halves. I'm not sure if it was Bashirotto or Luperto, but it's gone into the opposite corner for Ordero's totally wrong-footed. Napoli get the second goal that they have craved to give them a little bit of distance in this game. Bashirotto should have been held up for a foul on Højlund in the start of that move, but then cuts across his man and fires a shot in. Oh, and it comes off the backside of Filippo Terreziano. He slipped in drilling the shot. Ordero's going to his right, and it just rolls into the left-hand corner of the net. It is going goalwards, so I think Højlund is going to be given the goal. Be interesting to see if they had ball tracking to say exactly how that's going in, but Højlund from 20 yards has put it to Ordero's right and slip in, and a bit of Filippo Terreziano's rear end has put it to the left. We got 3 additional minutes to be added on at the end of this first period here. It's Napoli 2, Cremonese 0. We wait to see the dubious goals panel. Who gives the goal to? Okereke spins, gets the ball this time to Bayero. Bayero out far side. Chance for Male to put the ball across the edge of the box. Comes off the heels of Oliveira. Chance here for Bayero. Back out on the far side to Amir Male. Tries to play the ball in. Blocked by the body of Stanislav Lobotka. It's going to be a corner. The second of this first half. Late on in the proceedings for Cremonese. Goal away to my right-hand side. Well, that goal, it is a Terreziano own goal, we've been told, by the dubious goals panel. It's interesting, I couldn't see with the ball tracking to see if Højlund was going to get it inside the post, but he's even lost that one, poor old soul. Corner gets whipped into the front post, and it bounces harmlessly through and gathered safely by Milinkovic-Savic, who bowls the ball out very quickly. Chance for a run here for De Bruyne. De Bruyne forward. Gets the ball back as well, just 6 yards inside the Napoli half, which is to the right of the halfway line. Back it goes to Ramani. Ramani to McTominay. McTominay out on his near side to Alisson Santos. Alisson Santos now. Second minute of a minimum of 3 to be added on at the end of this first half. Almost up to the edge of the 18-yard box. Cremonese sets it out to Miguel Gutierrez. Chance here for a little bit of support from Alisson Santos. Goes outside his man, gets outside Terreziano, pulls it back towards the penalty spot. There's not a sky blue shirt there. Okereke tries to come away with it. Napoli try to smother over it. Player down on the far side, I think, is Lobotka. And no foul is given. It's Politano, apologies. Okereke's lost out. McTominay 12 yards outside the penalty area. Square to Gutierrez. Gutierrez further left this time to Alisson Santos. Alisson Santos now clips the ball to the back post, stands it up, pulled back in beautifully and acrobatically by McTominay. And Bruyne is going to rob his player and wins the ball back. Amir Male has been caught late on here on 45 plus 3 by De Bruyne. And it's 3-0 in the blink of an eye, and that's game over. Male brought the ball down inside his own penalty area after an acrobatic bit of work by McTominay at the back post from a float across from Alisson Santos. And as Youssef Male thought he could dribble his way out of his box, he turned into the Belgian Kevin De Bruyne. And literally De Bruyne dispossessed him and from 7 yards slipped it past Ordero for 3-0. And you would have to say that is game, set and match, you think, for Napoli now at the end of the first period here. You can't see Cremonese getting 1, let alone 3. Marco Giampaolo's half-time team talk is going to be a little bit different. Terrific work by McTominay. And Male got the ball down and he just turned in. It was read by De Bruyne, who just took it away to his right foot and then fired it low into the bottom corner. And the keeper, Emil Ordero, no wonder he's upset. We're into the 4th minute of a minimum of 3 to be added on at the end of this first period. And Napoli have had a profitable 45th, 46th, 47th and 48th minute. Referee has seen a foul as the ball is played, and Daniel De Verdi has seen Buongiorno foul his man just inside the half of Cremonese. But that is the end of the first half. 3-0. Napoli lead, and if you're honest with yourselves, you can say anything you want, really, but the goals have come pretty interestingly. 3rd minute, Scott McTominay, could have been his second of the game. 45th, it was off a shot from Rasmus Højlund, which deflected in off of Teresiano's rear end for 2-0, and then 3 minutes into time added on, Kevin De Bruyne dispossessed Male to make it 3-0. Do join me for the second half. Hello and welcome back to the second half of this match day 34 Serie A game between Napoli and Cremonese. The two sides are getting ready. We think there could be a change, but let's just tell you about the first half. Goals on 3 minutes by Kevin De Bruyne's flick through. Scott McTominay, one touch left foot, one touch right foot, 20 yards out, bottom corner of Ordero's net on the right-hand side. Then on 45, just on the stroke of half-time, Rasmus Højlund fired a shot in which took a big deflection off of the derriere of Terreziano, wrong-footed Ordero for 2-0. And then late on, 3 minutes into time added on at the end of the first half, Kevin De Bruyne dispossessed Male inside the penalty area after good work by Scott McTominay and fired in low across the face of Ordero's goal for 3-0 at the break. Looks like it could be a substitution coming on for Napoli. Napoli wearing their light blue shirts, white shorts and light blue socks, make their way out of the tunnel underneath the camera vantage point here. Wonderful stadium here at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. One thing we can tell you is who is the change. That's the one we really want to see. We can't see at the moment exactly who it is. All black kit for Cremonese, who are struggling at the wrong end of the table and struggling at the wrong end of a 3-0 scoreline at the break. Just to let you know, our match officials today, just to run through them, our referee is Daniele Doveri. He's assisted by Matteo Pasteri and Domenico Fontamurato. Fourth official and board man is Alberto Arena. As the two coaches come up, it's the Marco Giampaolo's 387th game in charge in Serie A. Look at that. And the 700th game as a coach for Antonio Conte. My word, they're racking them up, aren't they? How about that for stats' sake? Let's have a little look. I can see quite a few players out there, but I can't see who the changes are. We've got a change coming for the side in all black, Cremonese. And we'll tell you about those in just a moment, but Bonazzoli, their top goal scorers, have very little to look at in the first half, and the two changes are being made. And the first that goes off, Warren Bondo, is being replaced by Van der Putte, and Grassi is coming on, and so is Zerban. There's three changes at the break for Cremonese. Okereke is off, Van der Putte is on, and also Warren Bondo is off, and on the far side it is young Romano Florian Mussolini who has gone off as well. Right, let's run through the side. It is Milinkovic-Savic in goal for Napoli. They have a back three of Buongiorno, Armani and Oliveira. A midfield four of Gutierrez, McTominay, Lobotka and Politano, with De Bruyne and Santos either side of Rasmus Højlund. As I say, the changes are being made. Okereke is off and Mussolini is off, and also Warren Bondo. Three attacking players gone off for Cremonese, and they do need a little change there. We'll tell you about those. Ordero is in goal. They have a couple, about four, I would say, of Basarito and Luperto, and Terreziano flanking with Pizzella. Ball is back in play on this near side, and Cremonese defend the goal away to my right, play the ball forward, a little turn around the corner, nicely picked off on this near side and played out by Male, who got dispossessed for that third goal near side. Giuseppe Bellezza down the line here into the feet. Good chance here straight away for a cross into the box for Cremonese. Can't be turned goalwards. Cremonese lose out on the edge of the Napoli penalty area. De Bruyne gets one thump to his face and can't do any well but put it out of play on this near side. So substitutions, as I say. Grassi is on in the middle of the park. Van der Putte is on for Okereke, and Zerban is on for Floriani Mussolini. So, again, ball is back in play just outside the Napoli penalty area. De Bruyne to Højlund. Højlund infield, doesn't find McTominay. Nicely picked off in the middle of the park this time. Paero has a shot from distance, disguised it well, went from his left to his right foot from 24 yards, but it's always straight down the midriff there of Milinkovic-Savic. And all of a sudden, a little bit of a parting shot being thrown at the side Let's just run through. It's Ordero in goal. It's a back four of Tereziano, Bashirotto, Luperto and Pezzella. Three in the middle of the park in Male, Grassi and Bayero, with Zerbin and Van der Put either side of Bonazzoli at the top of the park. Ball is currently back with the keeper of Cremonese, Ordero, away to my right-hand side. So Cremonese defend the goal as I face the pitch to the right. And it is Napoli that defend the goal away to my left. And I see pitches, I should imagine, pretty much as I straddle the halfway line here, as you'll see on the television. Good work on this near side, played forward. Bit of a break going on by Cremonese, but they can't make it stick. And it's Gutierrez on the far side of the pitch. He slips but picks himself up, plays it down the line to Alisson Santos. Alisson Santos inside, finds McTominay midway inside the Napoli half, which is to the left of the halfway line. Back into the feet this time of Ramani. Back to McTominay. McTominay up to the lip of the centre circle on the Napoli side of the pitch. Short ball forward to De Bruyne. De Bruyne back to Buongiorno. Buongiorno out to Alisson Santos. Alisson Santos forced backwards on the far side of the pitch this time by Alessio Zerban. And plays it all the way back to Alessandro Buongiorno, who goes all the way back to Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, who plays the ball out nice and easy to Amir Ramani. Mateus Oliveira into the feet of Lobotka. Lobotka on the periphery of things, but doesn't need to do a great deal in fairness as the ball is swept out on that far side of Buongiorno. A chance now for Lobotka to stand on the ball. A little flick round the corner, right to the right-hand side, finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne with a long ball over the top. Run down this near side by Matteo Politano. Under pressure on this near side. Just gets a little ushering under the ball by the fullback Giuseppe Pezzella, and it goes off with the body of Politano and away for a goal kick to Cremonese, which is taken quickly. Luperto takes it, plays it to his keeper Ordero. Ordero in the centre of his 6-yard box, away to my right, thumps a long ball forward for Cremonese. Zerban can't get there, easy header down by Buongiorno, tidied up by Romani. Romani across on this near side to Mateus Oliveira. Into the field of Lobotka, back to Oliveira. Back to Lobotka, around the corner to De Bruyne. De Bruyne out on this near side to Politano. Politano down the line, easily cut out by Luperto's header. Played forward, brought down nicely by Van der Putte. Put back inside. Now turned round the corner on this near side by Pezzella. Chances again, Male. Plays it into Grassi. Grassi out to Payera. Back it goes into the feet of Tereziano. Played out far side again. Zerban back. Cremonese holding on to the football, but going backwards at all time. Ball across to Luperto. Well, he's got to scurry there before De Bruyne comes across, and he just does no more than sweep it straight across the field of play and out of play on the far side for a throw to Napoli some 10 yards inside the half of Cremonese, which is to the right of the halfway line, taken quickly on the far side. McTominay back to the halfway line, picks out the feet of Ramani. Ramani across to Oliveira. Oliveira forward to De Bruyne, midway inside the Cremonese half. Back out on this near side to Politano. Back inside to Lobotka. Lobotka tries to play it through. Luperto cuts it out. Good toe by Male. Male and Grassi. Crossfield ball is cut out by McTominay. And Napoli picked the ball up 6 yards inside the Cremonese half, which is to the right of the halfway line. McTominay feeds the ball out near side to Matteo Politano. Politano trying to run at the fullback here. Pezzella goes inside. Picks out a nice pass to Lobotka. Lobotka tries to sweep it out to Alisson Santos, but excellent work this time by Filippo Tereziano, who gets the ball down, and Cremonese come away with it. They're on the break on this near side, driving forward with the centre forward Federico Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli will look out to this near side. Chance here now going into the half here by Van der Put. Cross across the face of goal, too close so to the outstretched arms of Milinkovic-Savic, who bowls it out very quickly. And Napoli are on the stretch now. It's 2 against 2. Alisson Santos and Højlund going up to the edge of the box now. Santos onto his right boot, 18 yards. It's 4-0. 4-0, as cool as you like. Alisson Santos on 52 minutes. And it's been far too easy. A good run away to his left-hand side by Højlund, and he fires it in from 18 yards past Ordero into his bottom right-hand corner. This, at the moment, I hasten to add, could be any score you want, really, for Napoli now, from a side that had no shots on target in their last game at home against Lazio. They're 4 up inside 52 minutes. Sting in the tail from Antonio Conte is obviously saying, you know, we've got to get some shots on target. We've got to get balls in the back of the net. We've got to just give ourselves hope. We mustn't surrender our title too easily. And Alison Santos drove through, just 23 years of age, drove in, came in from the left onto his right boot. Hoyland made a run outside of him to his left. Baciarotto didn't know what to do, went across Luperto and just drilled it through the legs of Luperto with his right foot. As Luperto tried to slide and block it, Ordero would have seen it late. It looked as though it was going to go. It was almost like a reverse shot. Ordero's on his way to his left and it goes in past his right side. Far too easy at the moment for the side. And they are going to make a change now. It looks as though Politano makes his way off the field of play, the first of many changes. Mazzocchi will come on this right-hand side. Two changes being made here by Napoli. And Stanislav Lobotka also makes his way off. And it is Billy Gilmour. Scott coming on to replace him in the middle of the park. Somebody that Conte would have known coming through the ranks at Chelsea. Well, they're hardly weakening their side, are they? Those two coming on. Napoli lead by 4-0. Oliveira and came up. Two players that have been noted, but Gilmour comes on, and Mazzocchi coming on for the players. Pasquale Mazzocchi will play down the right side. Ball is back in play. Napoli have it inside the Cremonese half. McTominay spreads the ball out to the goal scorer Alison Santos, who turns to run it. Terreziano comes in field. Terreziano still holds him. Short pass inside to McTominay. Back it goes this time in the middle of the park to Gilmour. Gilmour's first touch is to play it back to Romani. Romani near side. Into the feet this time of Mazzocchi. Mazzocchi back to... We have another change actually being made as well. And it's interesting that they didn't flag that one out quite as quickly. Ball is played on the far side. McTominay's trying to get away from his man. Gets fouled just about on the halfway line on the far side of the pitch. There was a third change. Let's see exactly who it is. It is Bukema that has come on for Mateus Oliveira on this near side. Ball in the middle of the half of Cremonese. Rolled back this time by Youssef Mala. And back it goes to Emil Ordero in the penalty area away to my right hand side. Played out near side. Chance here for Mazzocchi to try and hold off his man, Pazzella. Pazzella back to Luperto. Luperto infield finds Mala. Mala finds a little pass to Alberto Grassi. Grassi back to Sebastiano Luperto. Rolls it up to the halfway line. Little flick round the corner this time by Bonazzoli, but it's picked off rather easily by Sam Bukema. Plays it to Romani. Romani all the way back to Milinkovic-Savic inside the penalty area. Milinkovic-Savic is wearing a tangerine kit from top to bottom. We've got yellow at one end and tangerine at the other. But Gilmour comes forward for Napoli. Puts a long ball over the top. Look for the run of Alison Santos, who's tried to run inside the full-back on the far side of the pitch, Filippo Terreziano. And the ball is played out of play by the full-back on the far side of the pitch. Throw level the 18-yard box of Cremonese. Coming forward to take it. It is Miguel Gutierrez. Throws it into the feet, and it's played all the way back this time by Napoli to the halfway line. Buongiorno to Romani. Romani into the feet of Gilmour. Gilmour down on this near side finds Bukema. Bukema back to Gilmour. Round the corner finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne tries to slip the ball in. McTominay's running behind Luperto on the angle. Pulls it across the face of goal. Couldn't find the onrushing Hoyland. Alison Santos into the box. Cuts away from his left on his right. Fires a shot high over the top of the crossbar. Could have been 5. But this time Emil Ordero saw it flash high over the bar. The young Brazilian Alison Santos received it, stepped inside of Zerban, and then flashed a shot with his right foot from the left. High over the top of the crossbar, really got hold of it, gave it everything he had in the locker, but unfortunately didn't threaten Ordero's goal. Goal kick to Cremonese, away to my right-hand side. Thump long this time, glanced on by Zerban. And it's all the way through to Milinkovic-Savic, who's a long way from home. Short pass, well, he's 6 yards outside his penalty area, way to my left. Into the feet of Romani. Romani out on his near side, but Gilmour gets it back from McTominay. Gilmour plays it near side. Not former Scotland teammates, both would be looking to go in the Scotland squad to the World Cup this summer. Billy Gilmour, talent, had a spell, started at Chelsea, been around a few clubs, including Norwich City. Needs to find a place to settle, though. You fancy Billy Gilmour. McTominay wins the ball back. 6 yards, 12 yards, almost 18 yards going forward. It's upended. Referee Daniel Gioveri says that is a foul, and Napoli have a chance to put the ball from distance into the penalty area of Cremonese. They elect to go short on this near side, where Mazzocchi plays it back to Bukema infield to Romani. Romani square on the far side to Gutierrez. Gutierrez inside to Gilmour. Gilmour safe pass back this time into the feet of Buongiorno, who fires the ball out down the left to Alisson Santos. Santos infield to Gilmour. Gilmour twists and turns. This time faces the other goal. Slips it through for Højlund. Højlund trying to run down the side of the penalty area. Has a little bit of a coming together with Federico Baciarotto. And the ball comes off of Højlund and goes away for a goal kick to Cremonese, away to my right-hand side. Goal kick which will be taken by Luperto to Ordero. Out on the far side to Baciarotto faced by Højlund. Down that far touchline to Teresiano. Forward it goes into the feet of Alessio Zurban, who got pushed to the floor by Gutierrez. It's a free kick to Cremonese, far side of the pitch, on the touchline, midway inside the Cremonese half, as we move into the latter stages of the 59th minute. This defeat will send Cremonese to third from bottom, and having played a game more than Lecce, who go to Hellas Verona at the weekend. Not a good defeat currently for Marco Giampaolo's side, if it were to stay this way. Napoli have the ball. Good footwork on the far side by Gutierrez. Turns it in field, midway point of the Napoli half, and Gilmour finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne 15 yards inside the half of Napoli. Short pass forward to McTominay. McTominay's got options forward, slips it in field, and finds Højlund. Højlund up to the edge of the box, taken on Baciarotto. Onto his left foot he goes, tries to curl it into the back of the net, blocked by Baciarotto. Gilmour plays it near side to McTominay. McTominay level the 18-yard box of Cremonese, back to Bukema, inside to Gilmour. Gilmour to De Bruyne. De Bruyne, short pass out to Gutierrez. Gutierrez just stabs the ball back to Romani. Lovely layoff this time. Chance for De Bruyne into the box. Fires a shot in, this time down to his right-hand side from 17 yards. Ordero smothers it. It's just not in the corner this time from De Bruyne, but so well played. Gilmour, De Bruyne. Napoli opening up Cremonese rather easily yet again. Kevin De Bruyne very, very upset with himself for not getting a good connection. Near side, ball's played forward. Bonazzoli gets the ball down on the halfway line for Cremonese. Fought a lone battle at the top of the park. Federico Bonazzoli hasn't had a lot to work with. Another change coming. This time the person going off is Sebastiano Luperto. He's going to be replaced by Foligno. And Luperto hasn't, in fairness, I think, done a great deal wrong. I don't know whether this is a case of the old guard being removed and the younger one given a bit of game time in a game which is sadly moving away from Cremonese with every passing second. What I can tell you is Rasmus Højlund is about to be replaced by Giovanni, who comes on to replace him at the top of the park. And Højlund giving, without a shadow of a doubt, a bit of a Manchester United performance at the top of the park. He pretty much had a hand in the second goal. His shot was deflected past the keeper Ordero by Teresiano's rear, but you do have to say that otherwise he just doesn't seem to have a great deal of luck going forward. Looks like a goal scorer, looks like there's something there, but doesn't seem to be able to quite make it happen, Rasmus Højlund. Napoli, McTominay, Gilmour 12 yards inside his own half to left of the halfway line, plays it left to Santos. Santos doesn't get his head on it, tied it up on the far side. Grassi forward. Lovely spin by Payero. Payero has to roll it back though to Baciarotto. Baciarotto to Teresiano. Teresiano allows himself to be shut down, but manages to get the ball out on the far side, where a little bit of a spin this time by Payero has got the ball in field, but Napoli managed to clear their lines. It is going to be a long old afternoon or evening here in the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. As Mascherotto turns it back to Ordero. Ordero, right foot along the floor, up to the feet of Bonazzoli. First time ball played forward, this time on this near side by Van der Put. Good clearance on the edge of their own box this time by Buongiorno. Just as it looks as though there was a break on for the side that have travelled. They won their last away game, but they haven't beaten Napoli since 1994. Flag might go up for offside on this near side, and it is indeed. Giovanni is called offside, the 22-year-old Brazilian up front. Nothing to say. I think that was a rather poor flag in fairness. Now I've seen the one from the side, which is the same line, because I think that Mascherotto was keeping on Giovanni, but he was the other side of Giovanni and possibly masked Federico Mascherotto from keeping him on side. But there we go. Ball is back in play. Bukaima heads the ball away from his penalty area. Nice bit of work on this near side by Pizzella. Pizzella gets it forward. Played forward this time. Running beyond is Jari van der Putte. It's cleared by Napoli out on this near side by Amir Ramani. Out on this near side for a throw. Level the 18-yard box of Napoli. Away to my left-hand side. And Giuseppe Pizzella comes forward to take this throw. Needs some options though. He's got absolutely nothing. Just got one down the line, which is a fairly obvious one. It would be too tight for the ball is played in that corner. Still hasn't thrown it. Still those two players trying to make an angle. Van der Putte gets it back, but it's not a good layoff back there. And excellent play on this near side by Pasquale Bazzocchi. Moves the ball forward for Napoli. Headed back forward. Gilmour heads it forward. Heads it forward again. Near side this time. Foligno puts it forward for Cremonese, but it's all too easy for Napoli just to tidy up on this near side and play the ball back into their own penalty area. Bukaima, Mazzocchi, round the corner. De Bruyne, can he bring it down? Just stretch for it. Good work here by Federico Barrichotto down the line on this near side. Crossfield ball doesn't find its intended target. Right idea, wrong sort of placement of the ball. Chance now for Cremonese to drive forward. Baierro. Oh, it's a poor ball. No wonder Pizzella throws his head back. It's just needed a little bit of care on the football there, and Pizzella could have been in for a chance of a shot on goal for Cremonese. They could do with a crumb of comfort at the moment. They trail by 4-0 at the end of the 65th minute here. Goals are plenty. McTominay on 3 minutes. Hoyland's deflected shot off the rear guard of Tereziano for 2-0. De Bruyne 3-0. And then Alisson Santos making it 4-0 early in the second half. And that is how we are fixed as we move into the 66th minute. Foligno inside the centre circle on the Cremonese side of the pitch, which is to the right of the halfway line. Into the feet of Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli out on the far side. This time the Alessio Zurban goes back to the halfway line. Grassi, who's trying to play as a deep line central midfielder, plays it forward. Bonazzoli plays it back on his near side. I'm going to pick out Foligno. Foligno comes forward midway inside the Napoli half. Again, Napoli very disciplined when they go backwards. Nice bit of skill on this near side by Jari van der Put. Plays it into the feet of Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli comes off of the forward line, rolls it back to the halfway line. Tereziano, Foligno out on this near side to Pizzella. Pizzella tries to play the ball forward, blocked on this near side by Pasquale Mazzocchi, and it goes away for a throw midway inside the Cremonese half, which is to the right of the halfway line. Foligno throws it in this time to Mascherotto. Mascherotto back to Ordero, and Ordero, the keeper, spoons the ball up to the halfway line. Easy chest down by Ramani. Ramani into the feet of Gilmour. Gilmour plays it from one side of the halfway line. Cremonese side back into his own half, where the man wearing 30, Mazzocchi, plays it inside, and Napoli come forward again. McTominay, Giovanni back to the halfway line to Gilmour. Gilmour give and go with Bukaima. Back to Gilmour. Gilmour to McTominay. McTominay through the hole to Giovanni. Giovanni got options. Looking out to his left, goes out to Alisson Santos. Alisson Santos, far side of the pitch, faced by Zurban. Tries to take on Zurban, goes outside of him, down to the dead ball line. Can he pull it back and find a light blue shirt? Can't quite find one. It's gone up in the air off the feet of Pasquale Mazzocchi, but it's finally headed away with a bit of a plumb this time. Inside his own penalty area by Pizzella. Pizzella gets the ball back to Foligno. Foligno can't clear his line, gets it straight to Gilmour on the edge of the penalty area of Cremonese, across the Alisson Santos, who tried to get it back to McTominay, and it's given away again. Cheap football given away, and now the break is on. Driving forward on the far side of the pitch is Jari van der Put, midway inside the Napoli half, as he attacks that goal away to my left-hand side. A crossfield ball. Bonazzoli will make something out of it, but he's right down in the corner away to my left-hand side. Back it goes this time to Pizzella. Pizzella back to Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli to Male. Male back to Bonazzoli. Infield they go to Grassi. Grassi to Bonazzoli. Tried to play it forward. Good tackle there by Romani. And Napoli will come away with the football with Giovanni. Giovanni up and over the halfway line. Little short pass to his right to De Bruyne. De Bruyne on the ball. Just waits. Flicks it infield to Gilmour. Gilmour to McTominay on the halfway line. Short ball forward this time to Gutierrez. And Gutierrez waits for the overlapping run this time of Alessandro Buongiorno. Gets the ball out now to Alisson Santos. Couple of lollipops down the side of the penalty area he goes. Steps outside his man Zurban. Pulls it across the face of goal. It's spilled by the keeper, but helped out there. Ordero spilt it as he dived away from his right-hand post. And he was hacked away inside his own penalty area by the Cremonese defence. Napoli come forward. They fancy a fifth in this game now. De Bruyne 12 yards outside the Cremonese penalty area. Back it goes this time to Bakema. Bakema to Gilmour. Gilmour to McTominay. McTominay square to Giovanni. Giovanni 12 yards out. Short ball back to Gilmour. Gilmour looking right hand side. Will find his intended target. Mazzocchi waits for an underlapping run at De Bruyne. De Bruyne across the face of goal. Poured away by Ordero. On the far side of the pitch, Alessio Zurban hacks it away towards the halfway line. But it's Napoli that will come forward once again. Romani. Gilmour, Gutierrez, McTominay up to the edge of the box, into the feet of Giovanni, who can't control it. And this time it will be Girotto just to take the sting out of the game and go back to his keeper, Emil Ordero, inside his 6-yard box to the right of his goal. Plays it into the feet this time of Bashirotto. Bashirotto out far side to Teresiano. Teresiano just jogs forward, checks inside, picks out the pass to Alberto Grassi. Grassi, 12 yards shy of the halfway line. Don't forget that Cremonese defend the goal away to my right and attack the goal away to my left, and conversely, Napoli defend the goal away to my left and attack the goal away to my right. 70 on the clock, Napoli 4, Cremonese 0. McTominay with the first, Teresiano's own goal for the second, De Bruyne in stoppage time at the end of the first half for the third, and then just 7 minutes into the second half, Alisson Santos buried the fourth in, and that's how it stayed since the 52nd minute. Napoli in cruise control here. All they have to do is win their games, all of them, to the end of the season, and hope that a minor miracle happens for them to try and retain their Serie A champions tag, but it looks as though it's going to go the way of Inter Milan. Buongiorno. Alisson Santos, midway inside the Cremonese half, now drives at Zurban on the far side. Infield it goes this time. Buongiorno over the top. Santos keeps his run going, but just gets a little collision on the far side with Filippo Teresiano, and that just allows the ball to go away from him. Cremonese have offered very little going forward in this game, and they've had one shot on target and one attempt. That is all they've had so far in the game. There's 19 shots Napoli have had, 7 on target. They've been pretty much on the front foot all the way through. Well, time is ebbing away from any comeback here for Cremonese, which I think was extinguished at the end of the first half. Goal on 45 when Hoyland's shot came off the backside of Teresiano and deflected past Ordero to make it 2-0. And then into the 3 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half, De Bruyne dispossessed Youssef Mallet inside the penalty area and fired low past Ordero. to kill any real resistance you feel that Cremonese had to that point. De Grassi back to Bashirotto. Bashirotto inside the centre circle on the Napoli side of the pitch, which is to the left of the halfway line. Plays it out far side. Teresiano back to Bashirotto. Bashirotto tries to run forward. He's actually done well to step inside too. Plays it back to Teresiano. Down by the dead ball line. Pulls it into the penalty area. Bongiorno gets it away. One back though. Chance here for Cremonese down by the dead ball line. Bongiorno blocks it. Going to be a corner in the second half here to Cremonese. Their third of the game. Bashirotto leading by example. Their 29-year-old captain and centre half. Corner, goal away to my left. Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, far side of the pitch, looks out to his left, furthest corner away. Corner in goes on the far side, headed away by De Bruyne. Payero clips it into the Napoli box. Should be easy this time for Mazzocchi to play it out. Finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne 12 yards outside his own penalty area. Ferrets his way to the left. Steps outside of one. Gets upended. Referee blows his whistle. Fairly obviously that was going to be a free kick on Kevin De Bruyne. And there is going to be another change, we believe, looking down. It looks like Elmas is about to come on for Napoli. 74th minute. I'll double check with that in just a moment. It's not on at the moment, but on this near side for Gamer. Short pass this time to Mazzocchi. Mazzocchi from the halfway line all the way back to Milinkovic-Savic. Stands outside its penalty area, away to my left-hand side, some 8 yards. Plays it out this time to Romani. Romani up and over the halfway line, just inside Cremonese territory to De Bruyne. De Bruyne out to Mazzocchi. Mazzocchi comes in field, finds De Bruyne again. De Bruyne into the feet, back to goal this time with Giovanni. Back to McTominay. McTominay with the Joe Cole turn, back to Giovanni. Giovanni twists away from one, back to McTominay, across to De Bruyne. De Bruyne on the edge of the box, slips it in for the run round the side to Mazzocchi. Across the face of goal, terrific defensive block inside his own 6-yard box to put it away for a corner. This time again by Bashirotto. Should have been offside. Was the flag going to go up? I have to say that I believe Bashirotto is quite right. It is a corner to Napoli. They are rather fortunate to get a corner, I would say, because it looked as though on this near side Mazzocchi was a long way offside. Corner to Napoli. Emil Ordero will look out to his left, right down by the point of my right shoulder. Change is going to be made now. Kevin De Bruyne is to be replaced by Elmas. De Bruyne's no need for him to be risked in this final 15 minutes of the game here. Inside the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. Antonio Conte shakes his hand, high fives all the way along the sunken bench down beneath us. Corner, going to be whipped in. Near side. Napoli looking for number 5. In goes the corner, front post headed away this time by Pizzella. Gutierrez from midway inside the Cremonese half, back to the midway point of his own half where Milinkovic-Savic comes forward and just rolls the ball very easily to Gilmour. Gilmour finds Bukema. Bukema comes forward, slips the ball across on the far side to Gutierrez. Gutierrez clips the ball out, looking for the rampage and run of Alisson Santos, who's going to be held up this time by Filippo Terreziano. As Almas has come on to the field of play on 75. Elif Elmas, Macedonia. A chance here though for Cremonese just to reduce it to 4-1, and if they can get a 4-1, make it 4-2, that would be nice, wouldn't it? And if they can make it 4-2, try and make it 4-3. Anyway, Pizzella on this near side runs into the wall that is Giovanni. Giovanni tries to get the ball out on this near side, but it's a good bit of work by Van der Put, who gets it infield. Cremonese still have the ball, 12 yards inside their own half. Foligno feigns to look to his right, goes to his right and finds Bashirotto. Bashirotto across on the far side to Terreziano. Terreziano down that far touchline will find Martin Payero. Payero goes forward this time into the feet in the middle of the park of Bonazzoli. He spends more time in midfield. Back at it goes to Terreziano. Terreziano finds Zurban. Zurban back to Bashirotto. Forward to Bonazzoli. Back to Bashirotto. Midway inside the Napoli half to the left of the halfway line. Square ball out on this near side, and that is absolutely woeful by Francesco Foligno. He's just played the ball straight at a plate. Going to be another change here for Cremonese. And it is Barbieri that is about to come on. And I think it is Yusuf Malek that's gone off. Hasn't had a great deal to do apart from getting caught in possession by Kevin De Bruyne. 3 minutes into time added on at the end of the first half. But Barbieri is on. And Yusuf Malek, nightmare of a game, has gone off. Napoli in possession of the football, just outside their own penalty area, away to my left-hand side. Both sides have used their full quota of substitutions, which means my pen will no longer run out of ink. Gutierrez, square on this near side to Sam Bukema. Just short halfway line. Short pass forward. Giovanni with the turn down the line, gets away from Foligno, goes inside Foligno. Foligno slips, still Giovanni's there. Ball back to Gilmour. Gilmour inside to McTominay. Does a nutmeg there in the middle of the park, this time on Zerban. Ball flies nicely. Gilmour 24 yards out. Left foot shot low down to his right hand side. Goes Ordero and puts it round the post. That could have been 5. Really was a lovely bit of skill there. Gutierrez is a real pivotal player. Just got it back to Gilmour and let it run across his body from his left to his right. And a right foot shot low to the bottom right hand corner of Ordero's net. Full stretch, big outstretched right paw. Corner goes back in, short. It's going to hit the crossbar. It does hit the crossbar this time. And you feel for him. Amir Rahmani suddenly saw the bright lights of the goal in front of him and he's hit the crossbar. Napoli with the corner, take it quickly. Gilmour gets the ball back to Mazzocchi, back to Gilmour. Gilmour tries to step away and does step away in the middle of the park of Barbieri. Can't get the ball into the box. Cremonese cleared. They've got a bit of a chance of a break on there. Up and over the halfway line they go. Driving down this near side. Jari van der Putte puts it across the face of goal. That's a little too long for Alessio Zerban. Runs out to that far touchline. Tracked this time by Alisson Santos, who falls over. Ball into the box. Headed away at the back post this time by Mazzocchi. Cremonese try and come forward yet again. Payero plays it back. Bashirotto with a shot, thumps off the derriere on the edge of the box of McTominay. And now Giovanni, the Brazilian, starts making his way to the halfway line. Not a lot of sky blue to assist him. Arcs his way back into his own half and plays the ball back to Mazzocchi. Mazzocchi inside to Gilmour. Gilmour 12 yards inside his own half. Back to Rahmani, who hit the crossbar with that header just moments ago. Gutierrez now into Gilmour. Gilmour inside to centre circle on the Cremonese side of the pitch, which is to the right. Plays the ball out to his right-hand side, bypasses Giovanni and also bypasses Pasquale Mazzocchi and goes straight at a plate. Will not endear himself to his manager. Good header, very nice header there by Rahmani. Just seen the replay, thumped a full face of the crossbar. I remember doing that back in my playing days, many, many moons ago, at Oxygenisers Manor Ground in a cup final. Thought I'd scored my second of the day, but I hit the crossbar. Just a little something for you while I'm talking about it as the ball's back in play, and it's Buongiorno midway inside the Napoli half. Short pass forward to McTominay, 12 yards from the halfway line, out on this near side to Mazzocchi. In it goes this time into the feet in the middle of the park of Giovanni, who plays it square on the far side to Gutierrez, and out now to Alisson Santos. Comes in off that touchline, drives on the edge of the box. Nice feet by Santos. He's run into a wall of black. Loose ball could have come back. Fires a shot in, ricochets up and over the bar. And this time I think it's Amir Rahmani that has seen his shot deflect off the underside of the legs. And Marco Giampaolo just wants to get his side out of this game, I'm pretty sure. Without too much further ado, I think a penalty has been given here. Giovanni with the shot. Oh, that's a harsh one. That is a harsh one. It's driven in. Alberto Grassi, his arm's away from his body, but it's also close to his body. This is down to interpretation. The referee, Daniel Doveri, has decided to give a penalty, and he is sticking to his penalty decision. Well, you do feel a little bit at Grassi's hand. And that came via a shot from Napoli, and now the penalty away to my right-hand side. Put down by a man that could have been seeking a hat-trick. McTominay is going to take on Ordero in a goal away to my right-hand side. This is for 5-0. Emil Ordero. In between the sticks away to my right. McTominay is going to arc in with the instep of his right boot in the goal away to my right-hand side. Napoli 4, Cremonese 0, 83rd minute of the game. McTominay up to the ball. Keeper's gone the right way and saves down to his left. McTominay misses another. Sounds like he's had a terrible game. He's been right in the game. He scored a goal. He's made the keeper save a couple as well, including a penalty, although he should score from 12 yards. Would have been justice done to a degree. As Cremonese, Felino to Bashirotto. Bashirotto midway inside the Cremonese half. Plays it behind Teresiano, who's forced away from goal. Manages to turn it back inside the Bashirotto. Bashirotto out on the far side to Zurban. Zurban forward. Little layoff by Bonazzoli. And it's Bashirotto up level with the 18-yard box of the side of Napoli. The cross across the face of goal comes out on this near side. Now is a chance for Pizzella to take on his man Giovanni. Does so, puts a deep cross into the box. Chested back to his goalkeeper. Well, I've got to say that Miguel Gutierrez has chested that ball back from 14 yards and has made Vanja Milinkovic-Savic go away to his left-hand side to save it. It's a poor penalty by McTominay. Keeper Ordero dived away to his left. It's not in the corner. It's one that I would say you're banking on the keeper just going the wrong way. But a good save nevertheless. If you save a penalty, you're doing well. Gilmour slides the ball on this near side to Begema square this time to Gutierrez. Gutierrez 6 yards shy of the halfway line for Napoli. Up and over the halfway line into the half of Cremonese. Ball laid round the corner by Giovanni. Cleared this time back there by Bashirotto. Picked up again by Napoli. Far side of the pitch. Down their left they go with Alisson Santos, who's trying to get outside Zurban. Zurban's there. He's outside of Zurban. Down to the dead ball line. Pulls it back. Real chance here for McTominay. And this time is blocked by Bashirotto, who, if he wasn't trailing by 4-0, the captain of Cremonese, would get my vote for man of the match. I think he's been absolutely outstanding in a losing course. The long ball forward by Cremonese finds Bonazzoli. Bonazzoli wide of the goal, into the box, pulls it back, fires a shot in, little deflection, takes a sting off it and falling to his knees to his right-hand side. Milinkovic-Savic gets it and then waist-high volleys the ball clear. Who's there on the end of it? Bashirotto. Bashirotto forward down this near touchline. Chance here for Pizzella. What a player this Federico Bashirotto is. No wonder he's captain. Be interesting to see what his worth is on the open market, because at 29 years of age he's still got some legs in him for him. He's not the fastest over 10 yards, but just affects the game so well. Originally signed from Lecce for 2.6 million. 28 appearances this year. 2 yellow cards, that's all. Well, there we go. He's got 2 goals, 4 in total at Cremonese. Scored against Torino last time. Near side of the pitch, Pizzella plays the ball infield. Felino gets the ball back. Plays it across to Bashirotto. Bashirotto forward. Takes it by Barbieri, slipping on the turn by Zurban, picked up again this time. Driving run by Bashirotto again. Ball played back to their keeper for Napoli, and it's up to 8. Far side of the pitch. Bashirotto wins it back. Who else? 87th minute of the game here. Napoli 4, Cremonese 0. Into the feet back to goal of Bonazzoli. Little layoff on this near side. Chance here for Pizzella to put it into the Napoli penalty area. Faced up on this near side. Goes outside of Elmas. Puts a deep ball across the face of goal. Headed up and away for a goal kick with a foul in between as well. And Federico Bonazzoli says, how did I foul him? And I think it's fairly evident that it was a big push into the small of the back there of Alessandro Buongiorno. Going to be a free kick as we move towards the end of the 90 minutes here. What a player we've had going on today. Some players just worth a mention. Gutierrez has been pretty impressive for the side of Napoli. Bashirotto, for me, could be the first man of the match in a 4-0 to rubbing if I was to give it out. I think he's played that well for Cremonese. Elmas, Tomane's mate in the middle of the park. Gilmore back into the feet of Bukema. Romani out on the far side to Buongiorno. Back inside to McTominay on the halfway line. Short ball forward to Giovanni. Back it goes this time to McTominay. McTominay back to the halfway line. Picks out Romani. Romani forward. Little layup again. Run on to by McTominay. Plays it out down the right-hand side. Cross is going to come in by Mazzocchi. Blocked this time by Petzela, and it's going to be a corner to Napoli late on in the game here. We're about to go into the 89th minute. Napoli have a corner. Goal away to my left-hand side. Near side of the pitch. Elmas comes across to take this corner. Got options short, just inside of him. Giovanni, but I think this is going into the box. We're into the 89th minute, I should say. Apologies, adding a minute on. Getting too ahead of myself. Back for 2 more games tomorrow. Lifted in by Elmas. Headed down this time by McTominay. One bounce up into the grateful arms of Emil Ordero. And got enough on it. Got above Girotto, but couldn't get enough purchasing power to trouble Emil Ordero in the Cremonese goal, as he did in 3 minutes when he fired it past near side of the pitch. Chance now by Van der Put. Van der Put with the crossfield ball to Barbieri. Barbieri tries to get the ball down, tries to get outside his man on the far side. Barbieri puts the ball into the box. Free header of Bonazzoli. Waited for it to drop, buried his header straight down the centre of the goal. Easy take there by Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Bonazzoli's waited all day long for that bus to come along, and then when it came along he didn't take it. Didn't get it in the corner, went straight down the centre. Good ball in fairness by Barbieri. 90th minute of the game now. Napoli 4, Cremonese 0. Napoli have won really at a canter here, including Scott McTominay. Penalty being saved by Ordero, which is about the only bright spot for the Cremonese side, who now drop into the bottom 4. Little flick round the corner. Barbieri cross the face of goal, down by his left post, and shovelled round the corner of the post by Milinkovic-Savic. Cremonese tried to reduce the arrears. 1 goal could make the difference of being in the bottom 3 at the end of the night. So they will dearly love to try and get a goal back. Goal difference could play a part with them and Lecce. Corner, goal away to my left-hand side. Milinkovic-Savic. Going to watch this ball be curled in. It's bounced over the foot of Giovanni, who manages to see the ball go back to Alisson Santos, who clears it. Balloons back towards the corner flag on the far side. It's going to be another corner late on in the piece here. Jari van der Putte is about to put this back in again. Got 2 additional minutes to play. We're into the 91st here. Van der Putte puts the ball in again. Header comes in this time from Francesco Foligno, and it goes high over the top of the crossbar. Let's just tell you, 3rd minute, Scott McTominay 20 yards out. Lovely ball through to him by Kevin De Bruyne. 1 touch on his left boot, 1 touch on his right from 20 yards into the bottom corner, made it 1-0 on 3 minutes. That was turned into 2-0 right on the stroke of 45 when Rasmus Højlund cut across from his right foot to his left, fired a shot in which came off the backside of Teresiano, deflected past Ordero for 2-0, but worse was to come 3 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Male was caught in possession inside his own penalty area by Kevin De Bruyne, who rifled a shot in for 3-0 at the break. Shortly into the second half, a good ball this time played forward by Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, found Alisson Santos, who cut in from the left onto his right and fired a shot low past Ordero for 4-0. Cremonese well and truly beaten. Could have been 5 when McTominay had a penalty after De Grassi was adjudged to have handled the ball late on in the piece, but McTominay's penalty was well saved down to his left-hand side by Emil Ordero. I'm back, as I say, with 2 games tomorrow. Got to cover them. Got to be done. But what I will say as we move into the back end of the 92nd minute, it is Napoli 4, Cremonese 0. Giovanni just being upended on this near side by Baero, who's been fairly anonymous, but the referee, Daniele Doveri, says that is enough, and it's finished here in the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. Napoli 4, Cremonese 0. Thank you very, very much for listening.